guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and today we're going to visit a job site. Some of you guys like my job site tours. This one's real close to me. It's right here in Chino, California. It's a company by the name of Jacuzzi. This is the same Jacuzzi that builds the hot tubs and spas and whirlpool tubs and things like that. So they are a customer of mine. And what we're doing here in California is we're building a mold shop. And this is basically where they build next year's model of tub, the actual molds that make the tubs. They don't make the tubs themselves in this facility. So this is just kind of a research and development and prototyping type facility for Jacuzzi. Still an Italian-owned company. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of Italian guys running around there. So Mr. Jacuzzi is still alive and well. Maybe it's his son, but regardless, they're still family-owned. So that was pretty interesting. So let's go visit the job site. We're getting set up. We're just starting to get crates unloaded, and we're kind of under the gun on this job. Let's go have a look. Okay, and we're handheld on another Bar Z job site. This time we're at Jacuzzi, the people that make the hot tubs. And these are spray booths that they're using for fiberglass chop, gel coat, resin bonding, things like that. So that scissor lift really isn't being used as a scissor lift. It just kind of, we use it as a jack stand to hold up that ceiling while we go through and put all the panels in and bolt it together. There's 4 of these booths. That one doesn't have a lid on it yet. Here's some of the duct work. These are 42 inch. And these are all riveted construction, all pop riveted construction, and rings. Those are the angle iron rings. Just thought I'd show you around the job site a little bit here. There's the blowers. These are a 3-horse, 42-inch fan. They use the Elta blowers. And this is a multiple pitch. You can split this hub and put this blade in at whatever pitch you want to get the airflow you want. As the blade pitch goes up, so does the noise level, but so does the performance. So we can always adjust the prop angle, and we can actually add propeller blades by popping these caps out and putting new slugs in it. So those are all the blowers for this job. We've got a big air makeup plenum. 4 of those fans go on this air makeup plenum here. This air makeup plenum is 64 feet long. So there'll be 4 fans coming off the top of that and going out through the roof and pulling air in, and there'll be air supply filters in all those in that filter bank. And that's 2 booths, and then we got there's a paint kitchen. This is going to get moved. We just put it together. We were under the gun. We had to get the crates empty and get our space. We have very limited space here. So here's a paint kitchen. You notice it's up on a curb for spill containment. And this is going to have a diamond plate ramp so they can, dolly drums in and out of here. This is where all the resins and everything are going to be mixed. And you see there in the back wall, that's the pickup. It's got low-level pickup at the floor because all the vapors are heavier than air, so they drop to the floor, and it got a little one up at that bench. So that's the paint kitchen. And this is just 10 by 15. This isn't a very big unit. It's pretty small. And it actually is going to slide back in between the next 2 booths. We got a booth there, no lid on it yet. And we got a booth over here with no lid on it yet. But we got rid of our crates. That was the main thing. The crates had to go and make room and get everything out of the crates, so we had some room to work because we were just buried. We had to get some sheet metal standing quick. This is only our 3rd day. So that's my job site, but I'm pretty pleased. I got a nice aisle and I got good access. Just move that trash can and the caution tape, and I've got good Good access over here to get equipment in and out, scissor lifts and forklifts. And the rest of this place is all hot tubs. That's all that's all hot tubs down there as far as the eye can see. Stacked what? 1, 2, 3, 4 high. This place is wall to wall hot tubs. From what I hear, they move about 300 or 400 tubs a day. And there's all my ductwork to go through the roof. We got 9-foot sticks of spiral and 10-foot sticks of spiral. Again with the iron rings. Those were bolted at the factory. Those rings were bolted to there, that one end of them. But the other end, they just did some quickie tech screws. So essentially those rings are loose, and we're not going to pin them. We're going to use what's called a van stone connection and turn that into a slip ring. And I'll show you that when we go to do it. But what that's going to enable us to do is swing our ductwork around and clock. To get through the roof, we got to do a double swing with elbows. Not 90s, those are for the roof. But these 45s, that's considered a double swing elbow to make an offset. After you've dropped this on top of a piece of straight pipe, you need to be able to clock it. And with fixed rings, you're at the mercy of the bolt hole pattern. So I'm going to show you how to make a van stone connection and make a slip ring so that when you tighten the bolt circle, it clamps down on the pipe and makes a secure connection. And makes a secure electrical connection. All your fittings and everything have to have electrical continuity. Everything has to stay grounded, because when you convey hazardous vapors within a duct, nothing can be isolated. It'll build up static electricity, and we'll get a spark inside the duct. And there's some loose rings. There's a canopy. These go up on the roof. There's a rain collar in there, but the canopy has got automatic dampers that when the fan comes on, those just lift, hit the center bar, and that gap in the middle is like a rain gutter, so that when it rains, it falls down into that gutter and runs out the sides and drains. And the theory is, if the fan's on, the dampers are open, and the rain can't overcome the fan blowing out. That's the theory. I've seen some pretty hard rains. Anyways, I didn't design it, I just put it together. All right, guys, that's a Barzy job site. I will bring you back in a couple of days. When we get those fans, we got to get these booths bolted to the floor. We got to get them put together. We got to get them, got to get the fans landed on top, and then we're going to start doing ductwork. Okay. Okay, well, here we are, day 5 at Jacuzzi. And we've got our intake plenums. This one still needs to be bolted to the floor. It hasn't got fans yet. But this one is bolted to the floor. It's already pinned down. And we got the blowers up on top. And those are going to be going up through the roof with all that spiral duct right there. Our mixing room is now in its position, and it got slid back via a scissor lift. We just hooked it up with some rigging and pulled it back, and it slid. This is a water finished concrete floor, and it slid real easy. And our first 2 booths are pinned down to the floor. You probably can't see up on top. That's as far as I can reach. But blowers are up there, out of the way. So it's 2 booths, a mix room, and then 2 more booths. And you can kind of get a peek at that one blower through the light opening. Those are all for light fixtures there. This job's getting LEDs. And that's the end. That's the last booth there. That's booth number 4. All right. So this is day 5, and I thought I'd show you around a little bit. Before everyone starts showing up and making noise. It's currently 4:30 in the morning. But as promised before, we're going to have to do some bandstone connections on those spiral ducts, and I'm going to show you what a bandstone is here later today. Okay, so the next hurdle is, we've got spray chambers built, and we're getting the crates empty as quick as we can, trying to regain some floor space as quick as we can, get as much standing up as quickly as possible. And now it's time to start running ducts. And I'm going to introduce you to a specific type of connection called a vanstone connection. Some of you ductwork guys and sheet metal guys are already going to know what this is. But let's go take a look at an easy way to field fabricate ductwork joints. Well, I told you I'd show you what a vanstone connection is. This little rim right here, see the ring is actually loose and it's capable of spinning. And all we do is we clamp the ring to the spiral pipe and hammer it out. Just leave enough clear for those bolts. And when you tighten this ring to the next ring, everything gets pinched in, but it allows you to clock your fittings. And he's over here working on another one. So those are the only tools you need. A pair of clamps and a hammer. But that's a vanstone connection. And it's actually not required to put screws in these holes later. If you don't, you can if you want to. After you got your fittings and everything the way you want them, and all your elbows and everything are facing the way you want, you can go around and put screws in, but it's not needed because this gets pinched in up to the next ring when it comes in. That piece of sheet metal down there gets pinched between those 2 rings as you tighten that ring of bolts. So that's what, so you can go vanstone to vanstone, you can go vanstone to raw ring, it doesn't matter. That sheet metal is going to get pinched in there no matter what. Alright? Okay, I hope some of you guys found that interesting. I know that's probably familiar to some of you, but some of the others didn't know that type of joint existed, but that allows the ducts to move, and then when you clamp those rings, it pulls them together, and that way you can clock a fitting the way you want it to. So I hope you found that kind of interesting. Next up, I had a device, kind of a giant tripod that I built a long time ago, and we've used it for years. And we were using it up on the roof of a building throughout the week. We weren't done with our work by the time Friday rolled around. We left it on the roof of the building over the weekend and came back Monday morning, and it was gone. So somebody stole my giant tripod. So let's take a look at this. This is me building a new one, and I've got some changes. Everything that made me upset about the old tripod, I fixed it. So let's have a look at the new one. Okay, so the goals for the new tripod were taller, wider base, adjustable feet, and I wanted it to break down easily. I wanted it to fit in the back of an SUV when it's broken down. I didn't want this big giant monstrosity. I didn't want it to be too heavy because we got to haul this thing up to the roof. There's a lot of goals to this thing. And now that we've built it and now we're going to test it. Here is the Stan's big tripod picking up the back of a half-ton truck. Okay, so my static test was 1,900 pounds, as you can see on that scale right there. And I don't know if you can tell from the pictures, but the back wheels of that little half-ton truck were off the ground. So that was my static test. The back of that truck weighs 1,900 pounds. So that was the way Bar Z does a static. Now, after seeing that, I'm comfortable putting a load limit on it of 600 pounds. So we're never going to exceed that. Our ductwork doesn't weigh that much. So now that we've built it and tested it, let's take it out to the job site and run some ductwork through the roof. Morning guys, it's another beautiful day here in sunny Southern California. I'm up on a roof in Chino, California. I'm at Jacuzzi, which is the one and only hot tub maker. Anyways, we're putting in some spray booths for them. I've got my I've got my tripod set up. I've got a piece of ductwork on a spreader bar, and I'm going to flip the camera around and show you down the hole what we're doing down below on a spray booth. I've got 10 feet of 42-inch duct hooked up to that. That's about 300 pounds on the tripod, and they're down below slipping a 10-foot piece underneath in between the slack I've given them, and they're going to bolt that up to the fan, and then we're going to drop this down on top of that. So this duct was a straight shot. Let me flip the camera around. I'll do a little more for you. Okay, there's our duct sticking through. I'll step back a little bit and show you the tripod. And I'll come over here and show you down the pipe. Hopefully it's not too dark down there. Put the camera maybe focus on that. And you see down below we've got more than a 10-foot gap between that blower and the bottom of this duct. So this duct is just dangling. They're going to run that other duct in with a forklift, slip it in, bolt up the rings, and I'm going to lower this one down to them and make the final connections. You can see one of the guys down there on top of the booth prepping that blower, getting the sealant on there, and getting ready to bolt up that ring. And when we're done, this is what it's going to look like. Here's one we did last Friday. I'll try to show you down the hole of that one, down to the blower. That's two 10-foot pieces of 42-inch duct and a little thimble just to get through the roof. And then you got a roof jack ring collar that goes around the rough opening. And you might notice that fluff around there. That's a fiberglass wrapper. That's a code requirement for exhaust ducts. This is a product conveying duct for flammable constituents. And that's gives it a 2-hour burn time at the roof line. If there's a stack fire, it won't transfer to the building for 2 hours. So that's what that's a rock wool wrapper around that duct. It's just held on with a little 22 gauge skin. All right. So this is our second one. We got 2 more to do today. But my little pyramid's working really good. It's super smooth. The adjustable feet are nice. I'm using plywood to pad the roof so we don't damage the customer's roof. And you set it up and you adjust the chain so that you're sitting directly on top of the building trusses. So you're not pushing down just on raw plywood. So you got to set it very carefully so all your load is bearing out on trusses. But like I said, 320 pounds. It's not that much. Divide that by 3. You don't have less than 100 pounds. per foot, you know, so it's not like it's a lot. We're not really squishing down on the roof a whole lot. All right, and there's another one we did. That's an air inlet. That's just got a gooseneck on it. I'll walk down there and show you that here in a little bit. And there's another view, and it's been so hot we bring our own shade up to the roof. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but we tilt the awning in the morning to kind of shield us from the morning sun, and then we get it flat for when the sun starts getting up there. But we try to keep where we're working shaded. And over there we got an orange cooler just to keep us cool. Just everything you can do if you're doing rooftop work all day. And this is an air inlet. And we got mastic under that right there. So you glue that down with mastic. You put it on the roof and on the bottom of the roof jack. Bring the two together, do the squish, then screw it all down to the roof. And you come back with the cold patch, and then we've got a topping that goes over that. And then that rain collar around that seam gets a heavy bead of single component urethane, Sikaflex. And these are the joints they're making up downstairs. These are the angle iron rings, 3/8 bolts, probably 4-inch centers, all the way around. So all the joint connections are done with they're called companion flanges. All right, and then we got an inlet to keep us from sucking in birds. So that's an air inlet there, and there's going to be 4 of those. There's another mark there. That's another cutout that we still got to do. And so all we do is we do a string line from underneath, and then we drive a screw up with a string line, a plumb bob hanging off of it. Do our measurements, make our calculations for our offsets, or if it's a straight shot, fine. And then come up on the roof and use the nail as a point of reference, and make our marks and cut our hole. That's all the material that we got roof loaded already. It all came up through that skylight. We got a scissor lift parked under that skylight and using it as an elevator, which is actually pretty nice. All right, let's see how the boys are doing. Oh wow, they got the other piece of stack in. Okay, so they got the other duct in, and they're down there with drift pins and everything, lining up the fan to that lower joint. Get that all bolted up, and then we're going to take up that joint there. When they call out and they say lower down, then we're going to lower this down on top of that one and make that joint off the scissor lift. And they're getting the last little bit of sealant in there.
Look at that.
And we're going to be able to drop it
Alright.
down here in a second. You can bring it down. Down. Bring it. All the way on. Okay, that's all you. Only you scored a field goal. You ready?
Yes, sir. Slowly. right there.
Go ahead and come on down. We might have to readjust, but we'll see.
Looks like you need to clock it to the south, actually counterclockwise.
Yeah, give it a pick. We're gonna move it 6 inches here. Go ahead and bring it down.
That's better. That's all you.
That's looking pretty good from down here.
Well, we're on our last one here. This is an inlet duct. These are the other three. So we got 4 inlet ducts here. And all we're doing is providing a cold patch on the roof. Roof jack's nailed down, actually screwed down. So we do a cold patch on top of the roof jacks, and then after a couple days we come back and put a topping. It's an elastomeric, real thin stuff, goes just paints on there and catches all the pinholes and stuff. Then we go around and hit it with a topping after the tar's dried up a little bit. But that's the roof openings for all the inlets. And these just have a simple bird screen on them. Elbow turned down and a bird screen. And there's the exhausts over there in the distance. Those are the 4 exhaust systems. Those in, done. And we're up here pretty early this morning. We started up on the roof at 5:30. It's supposed to spike at 102 today. And at 102 on the roof, on a white roof like this, it gets pretty darn miserable. Anyways, this one had a pretty good offset. I'll kind of shoot you down there. This one had about a 60-inch offset, so we got a pretty big piece in between. I'll video it from downstairs and show you what it looks like from down there. But the tripod's working good. Another beautiful day in sunny Southern California. Okay, well that's how my new tripod works. I'm pretty pleased with it. It sets up quick, it breaks down quick. I was contemplating going battery powered with it, but I could just see being in the middle of a pole and running out of batteries and got to scramble around and get a charger and run a cord up to the roof anyway. So we stuck with 120 volt power. So there are times it's not too convenient to set that thing up and say, wow, I need 200 feet of cord to get up here. You know, you got a long ways to get out to the edge of the building and get your cord down and get it plugged in to run that thing. But I thought long and hard between battery power and 120 volt power, and I stuck with 120. So I'm pretty pleased with that. All right, we're gonna finalize this job. Let's go take a look around. The blowers and everything are running here. All this is 4 spray booths, 1 paint mix room, and then an air makeup system for these guys' prototyping shop. Let's go take a look around with everything running, and we're just getting ready to get out of there. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy these job site visits. That is Jacuzzi brand hot tub and spa in beautiful Chino, California. Hope you enjoyed the tour. Thanks for watching.